Thank you for taking the time to watch this video on the resurrection of Jesus, the Messiah. In this video, which is the third one in this series, I will answer the question whether or not Jesus resurrected spiritually. Let's continue our discussion by answering the question that ended the discussion in the previous presentation. That question was, how was it possible for the disciples to see Jesus if he did not resurrect in the flesh? First of all, let me say that what the disciples saw was not the physical Jesus walking and eating with them. The Jesus they saw was a spiritual being. In other words, what the disciples saw was Jesus in the spirit, not in the flesh. In short, they saw the spiritual body of Jesus, not his physical body. I know what you're thinking now. They saw what? Let me remind you that the angels who shared a meal with Abraham were spiritual beings. And no, the disciples were not hallucinating. The reason they were able to see the risen Jesus was because, from time to time, the risen Jesus materialized his spiritual body. This is why he was able to eat with them. This may be new to some people. So if this is new to you, or if you want to learn more about this, I suggest that you get a copy of the Messiahship of the Lord. Therein, you will find more explanation. The problem here is that the disciples did not distinguish the Jesus in the flesh from the spiritual Jesus who appeared to them. This is why they testified to the bodily resurrection of Jesus. The reason being that they associated the spiritual Jesus to the Jesus they were familiar with. Paul, however, after encountering the risen Jesus on the way to Damascus, realized that what the disciples saw was Jesus in the spirit rather than Jesus in the flesh. As he explained it in his letter to the Corinthians, I'm going to read 1 Corinthians chapter 15, from verse 40 to verse 44. There are also heavenly bodies and there are earthly bodies. But the splendor of the heavenly bodies is one kind, and the splendor of the earthly bodies is another. The sun has one kind of splendor, the moon another, and the stars another. And star differs from star in splendor. So will it be with the resurrection of the dead. The body that is sown is perishable, it is raised imperishable. It is sown in dishonor, it is raised in glory. It is sown in weakness, it is raised in power. It is sown a natural body, it is raised a spiritual body. If there is a natural body, there is also a spiritual body. As you can see in this passage, Paul was able to distinguish between the Jesus who lived in the flesh and the one who appeared to him spiritually. Does this mean that Jesus resurrected spiritually? No, it doesn't. Jesus did not resurrect spiritually. Resurrection is defined as meaning the return to life from death. This means that it is a process that reverses the process of death. It is a reality that reverses the reality of death. It is an outcome that reverses the outcome of death. As such, saying that Jesus resurrected spiritually would mean that he died spiritually. Did Jesus die spiritually? No. What is spiritual death? Is there such a thing as spiritual death? Yes, there is. By definition, spiritual death means being under the dominion of Satan. Every sinful human being is spiritually dead. Was Jesus a sinful human being? Was he under the dominion of Satan? In short, saying that Jesus resurrected spiritually means that he was under the dominion of Satan. It also means that he needed the Messiah. Let me make something clear here. The fact that people saw the Spirit of Jesus does not mean that he resurrected spiritually. That is nothing but a misunderstanding. Jesus, the Messiah, the Son of Man, who came to save humankind, did not resurrect spiritually because he was not dead spiritually. Let's not forget that he was the resurrection and the life. Take some time to meditate on this. Thank you for watching, and may God bless you.